Now I'm going to share some of our family's favorite fiction books, and I'm going to show some old ones that we've had and some newer ones that just came out recently. But first I'm going to start with the youngest age readers. It's important to even read to newborns and little babies that you don't think are listening, because it's just important to start bonding and learning, getting that love of reading. But first, Panda in the Park is a really sweet book with little cutouts, and it's like a hide and seek story where you're looking who's there, and it's the giraffe, and now the giraffe and the panda are looking for their next friend, and who's there, and it's Tiger, and then so it's just really cute. They're finding all their friends, and at the end it asks, shall we play again? Of course they want to read it again, and after several times they can start even reading it themselves. The That's Not My is very, very popular, touchy-feely for 1 to older. Even my almost 6-year-old still loves to look at them and read them, and it's great for those beginning readers. That's Not My tractor. Its engine is too bumpy. It's told from the perspective of a little mouse, and that's not my tractor. Its trailer is too rough. So you go through the whole, that's not my, and then that one, the last one, that's my tractor. Its headlamps are so shiny. So we've got rabbits and cows and pigs and pirates and planes and trains, every kind of animal, mermaid, princesses, dinosaur, fox, and lion. Okay. So just lots of great for any interest that you have. Next, we love our. I need you to be quiet, please. Next, we have our That's All Better and Little Bear Needs Glasses. These have reusable stickers, and they don't ruin carpet or furniture or anything. These are just so sweet. Oh no, dog wasn't looking where he was going. Ouch! Clean it, kiss it, put a Band-Aid on it, and you put the Band-Aid on it. And each animal has their own Band-Aid with their animal on it. So it's a good story for matching and empathy, and then they can match the front or the stickers back to where they go. So they have a place to stay. So this one has been out for a while, and it's a very favorite. I recommend it to anybody, any age kids. And then they just came out with Little Bear Needs Glasses. So Little Bear can't see very well, and he makes some mistakes. So he's putting toothpaste on his hairbrush, and he trips over rocks, and so they think he needs glasses. So all of his friends are trying to help him by offering their glasses, but they're just not quite right for Bear. So the mouses are too small. So all of his friends are offering their glasses, and at the end he gets to pick out his own that are just right for him. And then you see they're all together with everybody has their right glasses on. So just another really sweet story. And for one of those things, if kids have to wear glasses and they're little, and it just makes it fun. One of our family favorites is Anna Molly. So it's a sweet bedtime story, or anytime. It's I love you stridely like a quail, I love you cleverly like a fox. And the pages are sturdy, they're not paper, so it's great for those little readers to start the longer stories, and they don't have to worry about ripping the pages. But we have B is for Bedtime and Counting Through the Day that have the same pages, same beautiful illustrations, and just sweet, sweet bedtime stories. And then I'm a Hungry Dinosaur and I'm a Dirty Dinosaur. These are a lot of fun. The illustrator used actual chocolate cake to illustrate these, and then the I'm a Dirty Dinosaur used mud. So this is just a really neat, but the story is very rhythmic and you can make motions with it. But I'll shake and stir and mix and beat and make a cake that's yum. Shake, shake, stir, stir, and make a cake that's yum. So you just make it a lot of sing-songy and rhymey, and it's just a lot of fun to get the kids up and moving. And the illustrations are simple, but they're a lot of fun. And at the end, he has his cake, and he wants to make another one. So I look at that one. We have a little bit longer stories by Eric Odie. Dan Dan the Taxi Man is a really fun book. All my kids love this one, and it's very rhythmic. And here's Dan Beep Beep the Taxi Man going to the show and picking up the band. Climb inside while you still can with Dan Beep Beep the Taxi Man. And so Dan goes through and he picks up all the people of the band, and each time you yell, stop! Here comes Maureen with her tambourine. Shake a shake crash, shake a shake crash. So each time you add somebody, they have a new instrument and they have a new sound, and you just keep repeating it while you add everybody that's joining the car and the ride, and then they make it to the show. And at the end, they need Dan Dan the Taxi Man to help sing. So that's a really sweet, cute story. Can I see that one, buddy?
No, I see.
Busy Trucks on the Go is by the same author. Levi's looking at it right now, but it's a father and a son. They're going all through the town and the city and looking at all the different cars and trucks and garbage trucks and mail trucks, mail carrier trucks and school buses and all kinds of construction trucks. And at the end, you see Dan, the taxi driver, is also in the book. So that's really fun when they discover that the same character is there. A story pass is a lot of fun if your kid likes to make the story up there on their own, and you will get tired of reading the same story over and over. Well, this one will never be the same because the kid gets to change it every time. I see that. Okay. So once upon a time there lived and the kid gets to pick what their character is, and you have questions down here that says what was their name, what did they look like, where did they live, and the story. One day they're riding along on there and they get to describe again what they're riding on and to go through the story, and you see what happens to them. And each one of my kids will wait patiently while the first kid gets to choose what they like, and then they get to go next and they choose their ending or their story, and it's always different from all 4 kids every time they do it. So that's just a lot of fun. We also like the brand new Ludwig the Space Dog, and they just came out with the Ludwig the Sea Dog, and there's 3D glasses that come in the book, and so it's 3D is so cool. Ludwig lives in a world of books, and he's always interested in flying, and he tries all sorts of things. This is our favorite page because the feathers just pop out. But he tries all sorts of ways to fly, and his friends try to help him. And it's just a fun story, and he ends up getting to go to space and to fly. So just a lot of fun for, the kids that aren't excited about reading. Give them some 3D glasses, and they'll start enjoying a book. Gobble Gobble Moo Tractor is an old one, but a favorite. It's a lot of fun. We really love this one because it starts that the sheep gets an idea to drive the tractor while the farmer's sleeping. So he climbs on, and he makes the noise that the engine does when you turn it on. Bah! And then the cat comes along. Well, I can do the sound that the engine makes when it starts to wiggle and jiggle. Purr! And so it just goes through, and each animal adds their own sound, and at the end, they all their sounds together makes the farmer think that the tractor is actually going. And so he wakes up and looks out the window, and all the animals run. And his tractor's still there, so he goes back to sleep. So then they have to see if they're going to do it again. But that's just a really, really cute book. Noises. Pandemonia is a new one. It's a lot of fun, very rhythmic, and it talks about you're going through the zoo. Let me read a page. So you're over here at the zoo on this glorious day. You're sure to have fun. It's a great place to play. Come in, look around, relax, and explore. Inside you will find there are creatures galore. You'll have a magnificent time at the zoo. Just don't wake the panda, whatever you do. If you wake up the panda, he gets very grumpy, which hypes up the hippos and makes them all jumpy. When the hippos get jumpy, they usually hop, and once they begin, they are tricky to stop. Those hippos create such a hullabaloo, so don't wake the panda, whatever you do. So it goes through and it keeps adding more animals of what's going to happen if you wake up the panda. And so just a very rhythmic, very fun story, beautiful illustrations. And at the end, what happens, Levi? Oops, you wake up the panda. He loves that page. A Tale of Two Beasts is really fun. It's an old one. I know it's a favorite for some of you, but it goes through the story. It shows kids there are 2 sides to every story. And so the first little girl finds a little beast in the woods, and she thinks he's stuck in a tree, and he's whining for help, so she helps him, and she gives him a sweater to keep him warm, and takes him home, and makes him a house. Makes him a house and gives him a bath, and just thinks that he's the greatest thing, and trying to make him her pet. I need you to stop talking. But he runs away, and she can't figure out why. And then you see the story from the perspective of the terrible beast. From the beast's point of view, and he says, I was hanging from my tree, was whistling my favorite song, and along came a terrible beast, and he was ambushed, and she tied him up and carried off to her secret lair. And you see that he's not happy that he was clean, and that she gave him squirrel food, and so it's just a really fun way to see that everybody has a different point of view. And at the end, though, they learn that they maybe aren't really that much different, and they get along, get friends. Okay. Nibbles the Book Monster is a favorite to all of our kids, and it comes with a plush that we could not find because Levi's carried it off. And so first the thing the kids were going to do is they open the story about Nibbles and they let him go. And that causes all sorts of trouble because he chews out of this story and causes trouble in some of our famous storybooks like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And he makes a big mess of Goldilocks' story. And then he gets in the Little Red Riding Hood and he makes a mess of that story. And so he just goes through. It's really, really fun, very interactive and creative. At the end, the kids get to lock him up and put him away so he doesn't cause any more trouble, but I can't take your eye off of him because he gets away. And we just came out with the new dinosaur guide.
Mama? What, Mama?
Okay, buddy. And then we have a few for those. If you have readers that aren't excited about reading and struggle, this is what changed my son Luke. Last year I struggled trying to get him to read, and I finally discovered it didn't matter what it was, if it was comics or just to get him excited about reading. So he loved funny books. So Scurvy Dogs is a little tiny chapter book, very simple, fun pages, but he just laughs and he just carries this around and reads it. So this just got him really interested in starting to read because this was more like a real book, but it wasn't too complicated and it was funny. So he really enjoyed that one. And Zeal Nuts was the next one that he really liked, and it changed his reading excitement. But it's really crazy, out of this world cars, and they go on a big race, and you have to see who wins the race. We also have some other graphic novels that, for the boys that don't like to read. These are like cartoon comic books that are a lot of fun. And then our padded illustrated adventure stories. We have all kinds of Norse myths and princesses and horses and classics and fairy tales and fables. And these are great for those beginning readers to get short stories and just a lot of neat things. Sorry for all the interruptions with my little helpers here. It's kind of noisy and I have a lot of books to go through, but I hope you guys found something that you like.